That's my ringtone.
I might actually get that on a T-shirt.
What?
Lynch Becky 316.
I was about to say, I can't say Lynch 316.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
Lynch 316 says, I'm still racist.
Yeah. I said that with somebody. I'm like, you know what? I'm get Becky, not Lynch.
Are you ready?
That's mine.
Yeah, you're.
Are you playing my
I was going to say, all right.
I was about to say, I don't sound like Tupac.
I was like, oh, you guys have the same music as us. All right. Oh, no, that is mine. I made that.
No, ours is copyright infringement.
See, I was smart. I stole somebody's music that covered it, so it's not copyrighted.
Hey everybody, this is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and if you want to get your money's worth, stay right here because you're listening to Knockouts and Three Counts. And remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
What up, though? Obviously, you can hear this isn't Devin, but you are listening to Knockouts and Three Counts.
They can tell that.
You can tell that it's not Devin. I don't have the deep voice.
The sultry undertone.
Maybe he's just really good at imitating you.
I mean, hey. I mean, whatever works. But, yeah, that would be me, except I got this fucktard to my left. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Detroit Knockout.
What's the name of the show?
At Detroit NOKOUT. I was getting to that and had an idea, but you fucked it up. Yeah, you're watching Knockouts and Three Counts.
There you go.
And to the asshole to my left, yeah, who the fuck are you, asshole?
Yo, mama know.
That's because she met her, you fucking idiot. Of course she knows.
Anyway.
I know what you meant, asshole. I was trying to ruin your joke.
Didn't do it.
He didn't.
I was trying and it failed,
laughed.
all right? You were supposed to go with it.
What's up, everybody? This is the other Kyle. You can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Team Chaos. That's KAYOS. Facebook, Kyle J. Campbell. You can also find my other show, the DC TV Multiverse Podcast, on Everyone Who Cares, Stitcher, SoundCloud, everywhere you get your podcast. You can find that show.
Except Podcast Detroit?
Except Podcast
How you not
Detroit. Hey, I'm just the guy they brought in.
Damn!
You've been cut out of your own show, bitch.
And our guest with the Cola T-shirt that I'm going to have to borrow.
So, for those of you that know what we're doing this weekend, we're doing a big show with the boys from Breaking Down the Ring, and we've got
What do you
Mikey
mean,
with
boys?
us.
Wow. Look
Damn.
at you with your racist jargon again.
There we go. Shit, I'm just pissing everybody off
People,
today.
what do you mean, you people?
I quit.
What up, everybody? I'm Mikey, the all-Mikey one from Breaking Down the Ring. You can follow me on Twitter because you're stupid and you have nothing better with your life to do.
I'm gonna put that
Or
in my bio.
let's just go ahead and follow the actual wrestling podcast. I'm on at BDRcast on all of your social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, BDRCAST, literally spelled just like it sounds.
So, as we mentioned in the intro for you, we're coming into our Survivor Series party this Sunday at Thomas McGee's.
Yay, yay.
Yay. Hey, that's what I
What,
said.
Randy?
Even though Devin's not here, we still have a sponsor, don't we?
Ooh, good job
Right.
running the
Look
show.
at. There's a reason we got a producer. Yeah, if you're looking for a car, check out Southfield Quality Cars, not
Good
cars.
job. Good job.
And if you use the code 1939
That's not the code.
19309.
That's not the code.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's not.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not just fucking.
You fucker. Anyway, if
thought
you
about
use
it.
the code 19309, you get $500 off your purchase. So if you use the reference code 19309, you can get you $500 off a car. Get you something nice. Anyway,
That's what she
before I was reminded, this Sunday we're doing our party at Thomas McGee's with the boys from Breaking Down the Ring. They got we've got a lot of things set up for you guys. We're going to be raffling off four turkeys, and all proceeds will go to a soup kitchen to help those less fortunate. We also will be doing pro wrestling scorecards, and at the whoever gets the most points with your picks and how they win, they'll get a whole bunch of stuff. We got signed autographs, DVDs, shirts, all kinds of stuff. So make sure you're there. 5:00 start time at Thomas McGee's in Detroit.
Hey, so because Kev won stuff last time, so we can enter, I guess. Then.
No, this one we can't.
I was about to say, because y'all said
So-
that. I'm like, well, shit, I could have set my
the
scorecard in.
the last one we were a part of, just for the simple fact that it's the scorecard, and there's literally no favoritism that can be had with that. But with this one, because it's just the one major giveaway at the end, that's just for anyone who shows up. But again, You have to show up before Survivor Series starts. It doesn't count. We're not doing any of the pre-show matches or anything. It is literally just main card matches and the tables and the extra unscheduled appearances.
So wake up at 12. So show up there at 12 o'clock.
No, just get there before 7. Fill out as long. Yeah,
I mean, with the way they do their pay-per-views now, you might as well just show up.
Yeah,
at 12.
but yeah, so the event starts at 5, so the doors open at 5 for anyone who's coming in. So that's 2 hours. You have 2 hours before the main show starts of Survivor Series to fill out a pro wrestling scorecard, which they go live online Wednesdays around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can follow that at PW Scorecards on Twitter, and it goes right up there. And then you can even have you're an advantage in looking at this card and giving yourself 5 days to figure out what you want to pick.
So, since we mentioned the Survivor Series party, let's talk about a few of the things that are going on going into it. So, we just found out tonight, before we went on the air, that because of a broken nose and a concussion, Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey will no longer happen. Really kind of bums me out. I don't know. What do you guys think about it?
That was the only thing I was looking forward to.
Really?
Damn, really?
The Survivor Series, I've said before, the Survivor Series to me it's in the 90s it worked when you had, 7 pay-per-views a year and you had a big 5 with King of the Ring. So I'm like, yeah, it works having Survivor Series in there. If you watch the weekly broadcast, you can see multiple tag matches and multiple man matches. So to me, it's lost its luster.
Yeah, but then you have things where it can put people together who haven't even wrestled ever before. I mean, Seth Rollins versus Nakamura could literally be a match of the year candidate.
That's one of the good things they've done to me in the last couple of years. But if I was gonna pay, I'm already paying $9.99. But if I was actually gonna buy this pay-per-view, the main draw for me would be Becky versus Ronda.
All right.
That's to me, she is, if you want to be argumentative, out of all 3 brands, everything they're doing right now, she's top 4 best things they're doing in the company right now. And that's pretty much the fans anointing her basically Stone Cold Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Can't argue that.
Yeah, the change was crazy. Basically, what happened was they did the invasion angle on Raw, which best thing I've seen on Raw in a very long time.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
It shows Becky in the back giving the disarmer to Ronda. She then walks out while the 7 women are in the ring, and then the entire SmackDown locker room attacks them.
And a Charlotte Flair sighting.
But then, and not to mention, what about how even though they had named like the 5-woman Raw team at that point, like, did you notice how they kept funneling more and more people from the locker room? Like, they made it actually seem like they actually gave a shit.
Yeah, the women, yeah.
It actually seemed like they gave a shit that SmackDown came in and invaded, where in past times they've done that. It's kind of like you just see the 2 teams fight and that's it. When it's like, okay, if we're supposed to be split brands, then wouldn't you be pissed that they're showing up on your shit?
Or Bloods, your Crips.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to do I get you. That's pretty much it.
No, but anybody else, and this is not making light of an injury at all. I don't want to seem like that. But the Alexa Bliss, she just hauled ass out that ring so she didn't accidentally get bumped.
Yep.
Like the second she jumped, looked around, and made sure she rolled out. I'm like, damn, you made sure.
Do
you
we
weren't
know
taking a
if
slight bump.
is she wrestling in the match on Sunday?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, she's just from what I've seen and read over the last week or two, she's got she had a concussion. She hasn't been cleared yet. Yeah,
concussions.
And it's getting close to Daniel Bryan syndrome, to where it's so many in a short amount of time. They may make her like a Paige type figure, because I've said it before, I'm not a huge fan anymore of Alexa Bliss. I thought she got overpushed. I don't think she's great in the ring. I think her best thing that she does is on the mic. I think she's probably the best female on the mic they have.
I don't think that's arguable.
And I think they're going to put her more as maybe a second in command to Baron Corbin, to have her be that authority figure that nobody likes, to do it over the women's division.
Well, I don't think too many people like Baron Corbin. I
like him now more. I mean, now that he actually
I'm not gonna lie, I've always
something.
liked Baron Corbin though.
I never got the lone. Every time he came out with the lone wolf, I just thought of The Hangover.
Randy's drinking.
Nah, it's only Diet Coke.
We're not gonna get drunk,
It's not
Randy.
drinking, you pussy.
But I don't know, man. Like Mikey, I mean, what do you think with this?
With Becky being out?
With the Becky thing and just all the changes to the card. I mean,
Well, so all you mentioned was the Becky thing. As you guys do this show on Tuesday nights, SmackDown is live. It's the last hour of SmackDown. Well, in the first 5 minutes,
Don't go watch that though.
Huh?
Don't go watch that though. Watch this podcast live. because
Exactly.
Yeah, you can
This is way more compelling.
DVR, then go
DVR
back.
that.
But
We're way
I'm-
more entertaining.
Well,
don't
I'm
got
just gonna tell you right
commercials.
now. What I'm doing is I'm giving you spoilers.
I'm trying to roll my eyes harder so that listeners can hear, but I don't think they can roll that hard.
So basically, if you're watching this and not SmackDown, perfect. But here's some spoilers. In the first 5-10 minutes of SmackDown, they announced that Becky was gone because she has a broken face. Is a literal quote that they said, a broken face
Still hot.
on top of concussions, but a broken face. And then AJ comes to the ring, he cuts a promo. Paul Heyman shows up in the crowd, starts cutting a promo, saying he wishes it was Daniel Bryan and not AJ. AJ says, Daniel Bryan's great, but I beat him, blah, blah, blah. Daniel comes out and he goes, I don't understand why you guys are talking about me. There's no reason for this. You don't have to disrespect me like this. He goes, just don't say my name for no reason again. He goes, AJ goes, so if somebody asked me who I thought was one of the best technical wrestlers I have faced in the last decade, I could not answer Daniel Bryan. Daniel punched him in the face. It was all broken up, went back to the backstage area after commercial break, and then Shane McMahon said, fine, you guys want it tonight? You have it tonight for the title. So AJ versus Daniel Bryan is going to main event SmackDown tonight, and whoever wins that is obviously facing Brock at Survivor Series.
So AJ versus Brock.
But they pulled Daniel from the Survivor Series team. He's already off, no matter what.
Did they give any? Does anyone know if they gave any reason?
They did not give a
haven't-
reason.
I haven't heard anything. I mean, this happened what, if not late last night, earlier today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like I had heard of the thing last night about Becky about her nose being broken. I already heard that last
But
night.
how
right after.
badass was that to see, like them actually let a woman?
Oh, it was great.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I get it. Some people are squeamish with that, but I think it makes her look fucking badass.
That proves what color does in wrestling. It
I
adds that
agree.
next level of emotion. Yeah,
if it's used in the right
you
times,
don't want
like,
to
they don't
overdo
need
it
to,
like Flair. Like
yeah.
Flair would cut himself like a damn stuck pig and bleed all over the ring.
So did
But-
Dusty. Look at his forehead.
Hell yeah,
God.
dude! It looked like he looked like Machete at the end of his.
But if you do it right, it adds that next layer of emotion. So, and the fact, let's be real, it's a
Aw,
woman.
fuck.
Turn the damn notifications off. Go into the app.
Well, we
go
need
into
to talk
settings
about
and
it
turn
now.
the damn thing off.
We already are in the middle of talking
But
about it.
the fact that you saw a woman bleed like that, like Sasha had, what was like a little cut. What was that, earlier this year or late last year on the match? One of her matches with a Flair, I think. She had a little color, so it took it up to a next level. Becky got broke. She got broke. Like that.
But
shit
she
was
still
hard.
kept going too, and shows how tough she is though too, because she didn't stop. She fought through the whole thing and
Yeah.
played it off clear
Last
up the
kicker.
stairs.
Last kicker.
So I just hope that all this like shows something to WWE brass, because I've been saying for a long time that Becky's a lot better than people give her credit for. So I hope that this shows them like, hey, you knew she was good, but here you go. She can get over as champ. Because you would have thought the first reign did that, but if that didn't, this does.
I think the first reign was good in her the feud she had with Alexa when Alexa was over there. I thought that was actually a pretty good feud. I thought it was great work out of Bliss because that was like her first big thing that they gave her to do on the main roster. But for almost a year, she just had like nothing to do. She was just in matches. She was just around. She would make the corny jokes. Like they showed they didn't have any faith in her, and I'm like, I've seen her. Like this
Yeah,
woman
but
can kick ass.
Becky admitted she had no faith in herself
Yeah.
with it. She's like, that first title run, she was like, she didn't deserve it. When she lost it, she was like, cool, I'm glad I held it, but to her, she said that championship reign wasn't anything.
Well, I think that's evident by the way things are now, because there's just so much more of an edge to her now. And I think
Yeah.
that that's what's making this different, because she's got that, fuck you, I deserve this, and I don't care.
She's the man.
Exactly. I think that's badass. But
That to me, and the way she said it after she had let Ronda go and walked out. That's
Yeah.
what happens when the man is here. I'm
dude,
like,
she's been cutting
God
some
damn,
dope.
that was dope. Like
She's
that's a
been-
shirt. That's what you put on a shirt.
She's been cutting some dope promos too, though. Like the one that she cut when it was just her solo in the ring on Ronda the other day.
Oh,
That bitch was dope.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Edge is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And she talked shit to his face. Oh, be careful when you're getting out my ring. I want you to hurt your neck again.
Right.
I literally
I love it, dude.
dropped my phone. I'm like, oh, shit. That was savage.
Yeah, she's crazy. She's crazy.
So talking about Savage, let's talk about what we saw from Raw Raw last night and how Dean Ambrose finally responded to Seth Rollins by literally burning down his Shield vest.
That was
and
a mic
cut a
drop.
pretty dope promo too.
Burn it
I'm in
down.
the minority. I was like, meh.
See, I thought it was good, man. Just because I don't know, man. I like stories in which they make them really seem like there's a personal issue. It's like you've always heard people talk about. Those seem to be the best feuds, and because they've been together so long, it's kind of got that built-in chemistry to it. So
See, to me, it doesn't make any sense. When he's like, oh, the Shield made me weak. Well, the last time the Shield was an actual team, you were the strong one. You were the United States champion, while
For too
the
long.
other
That's
two,
true.
you
For
know,
too long.
you were the first Grand Slam champion out of that
Mm-hmm.
group. You know, when Shield reformed, you got injured. You
Great
know,
point. I
and
didn't
you're
even think of
you're
that.
back 2 months, and you're saying that it made. To me, it was just like you're looking at this going, yeah, wow, this just doesn't make any sense to me.
And to even add to your point that I didn't even think of it in that sense. Not only did that happen, he's saying they made him weak when they won the titles the night he like flipped out.
Mm-hmm.
So like that, you won titles, but yet
I said this on one of our first ever shows. I don't think we were even here at the great studios at Podcast Detroit yet, but they overplayed their hand with the Shield. The Shield, probably shouldn't have worked. You had 3 guys all coming up from developmental. 2 of them were indie darlings. One of them was a good guy that had just really gotten his footing in the last 2 years in the ring. He's The Rock's cousin. He's not bad on the eyes. Get well, Joe. You know, so it could have worked. You thought about bringing them up with Punk. You thought about having Cassius Ohno in there, but you decide on these 3 guys. You bring them up. You book them strong as hell, and they all get over. You have them all get gold at the same time. You can literally compare their run with the best of the 4 Horsemen, the best of the NWO, the best of DX. They're one of the Evolution. They are arguably one of the greatest stables ever. But you break them up, do them all separately as champions, all main eventers, but then you bring them back together again and again and again. And to me, it just, you had it good. Bringing them back together was a great story, but it just feels like they're drawing it out too much.
Well, obviously, the reason they brought them back together again and again and again is because it was the only way you get Roman cheered. You know, there was a
Agreed.
while there they were
Agreed.
sacrificing so many careers to get Roman cheered.
Agreed.
You know, and then Cancer came in and he was like, no. I'm going to do the real thing you should have done, and I'm going to pull him away for a little bit, and then we'll bring him back. Like,
Imagine when
Cancer
he
is the
comes
best booker in WWE right now for Roman
Imagine,
Reigns.
God willing, he comes back.
Well, he is.
He's the biggest babyface in the company, bar none.
Yeah. No
But
one's gonna touch him.
you know, that was my first thought right when that happened was like, it's fucking sad that it took him getting cancer to finally.
But please
Okay,
don't let him
well,
come back
hold
with the
on.
same gimmick
Let's-
and the same.
But let's
attire.
be very honest here. Roman Reigns, the character, isn't over.
The guy
Joe is over.
What about
when,
if
when he announced that he had cancer, everyone that booed Roman the character cheered Joe the guy.
Couldn't said it better.
You know,
Yep.
it's not. It doesn't change the fact that people, when they booed Roman, and we've said it on our show many a times, no one hated Roman. They hated what
the character.
WWE was doing, you know. So it's not so much that everyone was booing. And I saw so many people on Twitter. Oh, it took cancer. You fuck you. If you was like, no, like you're not gonna boo anyone who has cancer ever. You want everyone who has cancer to survive it, you know. But it does not change the fact that not a lot of people didn't like his push.
majority.
Yeah.
Right. And then there were the idiots out there who would say things like, oh, Roman can't wrestle. Yeah, he can.
He
Yeah, he
can.
can.
It's what they give him. They told him, you're going to use the spear. You're going to
Yeah.
use the Superman punch because we want an MMA type move that we can shout out
Yeah.
to get the MMA fans' ears all wet. You want him to have the Shield attire because it's badass and it got over with the Shield.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep the Shield music because it's great and the fans loved it. That's what my problem was with him.
So-
I didn't have a problem with him. It was his move set, his gimmick, the fact that if you watched a Roman Reigns match from earlier this year and a Roman Reigns match from 2014, you can't tell the difference. He has the same music, the same attire, everything is the exact same.
So here's a
Well,
thought.
I mean, that's like saying there's no difference in an Austin match or a Rock match or an HBK match or a Kurt Angle match.
Imagine if the 2000s era, early 2000 era Triple H had debuted with DX and kept that exact same attire, DX's music, everything for 5-6 years. It would be boring.
To be fair, he kept the same color scheme.
Yeah, he did.
And he never really changed
Which
his
is a
outfit.
great color scheme, by the way. That's, the same as our illustrious studios here. My favorite color.
But he had his music and everything before DX was formed. You know what I'm
I
saying?
get what you're saying, but it just got repetitive.
Here's another thing that I thought too, and like I was thinking about when you guys mentioned, you brought up the point about the real reason that Roman was getting cheered wasn't because of Roman Reigns, it was because of the guy. So when he comes back, because I fully believe he will, what do you guys think about the idea if they were to, now that he's come out and been like, you know, my real name's Joe or whatever?
No, he's Roman.
He's gonna. I
He's
think
Roman.
he's going to. But what if they, you know, like, there's been other characters where they've mentioned their name and shit like
I think
that
it's
too.
the first time they really ever called him Roman.
Him, yeah.
They
They've never.
They let Seth go with the they let what was it? Miz drop the Tyler Black reference once, but
Yeah.
I've never heard them like call him Joe.
I think this is the perfect.
No, Paul Heyman did it when he hit that Samoa Joe promo.
Yeah.
That was
Well, I think this is the perfect time to, like, even if you don't change his name up or anything, but this is the time you change his attire, changes his shit.
everything.
I think that would be dope. Like, find some way to have him come back in a way where he comes back and says, you know, cancer took me to like the darkest place
You're
in my life
reborn.
or whatever. And yeah, like, I think here's the perfect opportunity to just restart.
Almost how they
his
should have
shit.
did Seth Rollins when he came back from injury. They blew that shit.
Mikey, what do you think?
I don't think they're going to change anything about him. Not the music. It's recognizable now with him. Not his attire, again, recognizable with him. Now, you might see little changes, but
Yeah,
the main
different
thing is he's going to come back and get cheered. And they're going to push him the way they normally were put, just like they were pushing him now. And people are just going to cheer instead of boo. No one wanted him on the screen. That's why people booed. Now people will want him on the screen, so they're going to cheer. It's going to be the exact same regurgitated stuff. You know, that's why when anything, like, name someone who changed. Anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone you've seen, like, you've seen haircuts kind of got in trouble, you know, if you did it because you're a brand. I'm sorry. Anything you build, consistency is key.
Yeah.
And if you're changing up something, that's going to kind of hurt your brand unless you're working in it within it. Like, Chris Jericho is probably your only guy I can put in that aspect
Cena?
of where, no, Cena's never changed. I mean,
Dr.
outside,
Dr.
but the jorts
Thugonomics.
are still there. You know what I'm saying? So he got out of rapping, but he was still rocking the jorts. He was still wearing the different color shirts. He
Yeah.
still had the baseball cap. You know, it like his gimmick-ish changed, but not what he was recognized about.
Andy wrestled the same way too. Nothing ever changed.
Yeah,
there.
True.
like Jericho's the only one who I can honestly think of that wasn't going bald, that had to get their head shaved.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? That when they came in WWE had different styles throughout
He
it.
has different eras. I mean,
Yeah.
you got the sparkly vest Jericho. You got the
Yeah.
red goatee Jericho.
You
the
got
suit.
Y2J.
Yeah,
And every one of them's been over and been one of the best things they have in the company. So yeah,
exactly.
That just
But
speaks to how good Jericho is, though. But to your
Yeah.
point, I mean, it's not something that you see very often.
Undertaker did it once, and then they brought it back.
I'm in the minority. I kind of like Biker Taker because
I didn't have a problem with it.
I didn't have a problem
because
with
he
it at
actually got
all.
to talk and actually got to show his personality. That's what that
You could
that's,
feel
that
it was
who he
real,
was.
though. Like, everybody knew that was him.
He didn't.
Like,
He
there-
didn't change. He came to the arena in that same shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, I
He came to
mean,
the arena in that same denim
honestly,
shirt
dude,
on.
I mean, when you would hear him talk, you knew that was him.
yeah.
That's what my favorite second favorite taker is because he had personality.
Only other one, I mean, but it was totally different characters when they changed Stone Cold from the Ringmaster to Stone Cold.
But he was still the same. The only thing that, again, it's a gimmick change.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fluctuation in the gimmick. It's not a fluctuation in what, because
Yeah,
he came
that's
out
fair.
in all the black trunks. He was bald. He had the
He had
a
shitty
mustache.
stunner.
Yeah,
He had the shitty stunner, but he still had the stunner.
Yeah, that's fair.
you know, and so again, there's basically the majority of strong majority, 99.9% of the people you see touch WWE are the exact same person look wise,
Especially now.
from the beginning. Oh yeah,
Especially, I mean, like you said, that's the brand. That's who the 4-year-old that's gonna beg his dad to buy him that T-shirt. That's who he recognizes. So if Roman came out fighting in, he's not gonna fight in trunks, but if he came out in Mr. Ass type shorts or something, you know,
That's the first thing he thinks of, Mr. Ass.
I'm trying
I
to
be
think.
cancer man.
Like that ain't going. Like the kid ain't going. The kid's not gonna recognize that. He's gonna recognize the oily hair. He's gonna recognize the vest. He's gonna recognize the combat boots.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna hate the damn song. I mean, when he comes back, I'm gonna cheer for him. I'm gonna still hate that damn song. That song is just that is ingrained in me. Dana. Oh, boo.
So since we've gotten on the subject of brands and things like that, do you guys think that there's been any damage done to Braun Strowman's brand with the way that they bounced him from heel to face, and now it's kind of
I do.
okay?
You had an opportunity when you had him as a baby face, even though he was doing heel shit. Like, what type of baby face is throwing grappling hooks on shit and pulling stuff over? Like, he
Stone
was
Cold, but he didn't do that kind of shit. But Stone Cold was the baby face and was
the
fucking shit up.
for cement trucks and
Wait,
Steve
what? No,
Weisers.
Braun wasn't. They didn't try to put Braun into the boo category until they put him with Ziggler and
What was it?
McIntyre.
Dogs of War.
Yeah. When he did the grappling hook, he was the face.
Yeah.
They were cheering him.
No, I'm saying,
But that's what he's saying.
But they had an opportunity right there. You could have, and the thing is, well, just going on tangent. That's the thing. Like the thing that a lot of people, and I'm older. I'm 33, so I've been watching this stuff since I was 2, 3.
Damn, you're old.
I know, right?
I'm 38, so I could say it.
but the thing that gets
Snapper.
back in my day, the thing
I'm
that
always the youngest one everywhere.
the thing that everybody talks in rose tinted glasses about the Attitude Era was you had a loaded main event and a loaded mid card. You had Austin, Triple H, Rock, Jericho, Angle in the main event. Benoit, Guerrero, Dean Malenko. You had Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, later on Randy. You had a great main event and mid card. Now it only seems like they only want one face and one heel, and that's at the detriment of the talent you have, because you could have main event guys that don't have to be. You don't have to have the title on Braun to make him a main event guy. He's over. He's good in the ring, and he's good on the mic. And you can just have him in a main event, and it doesn't have to be about a title, but they just don't want to put anybody else at the time than Roman right there, and I think it hurt his brand.
But Braun was in the main event. What are you talking
Mm-hmm.
about? That's what I'm really.
I'm saying they could have actually filled up more than one person. Like, you saw he had matches with, like, the stuff he's been doing with the Dogs of War. I think that hurt him because, like, he doesn't need to be palling around with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler.
I thought I liked it.
But let me ask you a question. Does it or does it not make sense for, okay, I've tried twice now to cash in this Money in the Bank, and each time I was thwarted by other people around. So I have to get someone to.
Word of the
have my
episode:
back.
thwarted.
Wait, so I'm seeing if you put that on the screen. He didn't put that on the screen.
Perfect timing.
Oh,
Randy.
he just has a big Breaking Down the Ring logo on your shirt.
Well, he should. But the bottom line is, so every time he tried to do something, he was thwarted.
Where's the
Right? It is Pleebee's Playhouse now.
Hey, there we go. That's it. You see, you see Collison.
I know who Pee Wee is, motherfucker.
Before he was jacking off in movie theaters, he was actually one of the funniest guys on the 80s TV show. You probably don't remember that.
Still
part.
is. Anyway,
I love him.
so he brought in the guys to help him, right? And yeah, it was a little bit of a heel run, but it never made him look weak. Like, he was still like,
I agree.
Like, Ziggler would say, "We got to do this," and he would like, "Shut up," you know, like
it was
it's-
clear Braun was the leader of that.
Yeah, it's not like he took a back seat to anyone, and which is something that I was worried about because it also didn't make Drew look weak.
Yeah.
You know, and in this push of Drew, the way I looked at it is it plateaued. It didn't drop him,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
plateaued. But it had to plateau.
Yeah.
And it's better that it plateaued him rather than ruined everyone like they did. I mean, look what the tag titles did.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to get rid of they destroyed the Revival right there. The
I
Revival
hated
got
that.
the Ascension treatment from the DX days.
that
Right
That
there.
sucked.
sad. That pissed me
Yeah,
off. That
Finn. Luckily, it was real quick. Kevin Owens. Hey, Braun, I know you threw me off of a cage a month and a half ago. I got your back though right now. What?
The
Why?
last month I've literally been running from
Yeah.
you. But let's tag.
Yeah, it was literally what they just did is they threw everyone to the wolves, but those three guys did not. So when Braun came back as a face, it was believable because he still wasn't getting booed. You know what I'm saying? It was like they tried. To be fair, they kind of tried to make Becky Lynch the heel too.
So
that failed.
Yeah.
I mean, when they literally have to edit out the cheers in the broadcast,
So-
like, come on, like and that's the thing. Like, when you have somebody organically get over, just let them be over.
So my whole thing with the Braun thing, I don't think it hurt him at all. Like Mikey was talking about with the McIntyre and Ziggler thing with him, I thought it was dope because now you've got a legitimately formidable team where you're like, okay, these guys could actually fuck the Shield up. Where most of the teams that they would put together are always makeshift, but they were never people that you look at and you're like, these guys could actually take them out.
Not
You
even
look
the,
at
not even the Wyatt family.
You've got Ziggler, who is arguably one of the best wrestlers they got in the company, so he can go with Seth. You've got McIntyre, who's fucking on fire right
I don't
now.
even think he's hit his ceiling.
And then you've got Braun, who's on fire too. So, I mean, you can't look at anybody in that group and be like, oh, that's fucking, this is just something they threw together. And like Mikey was saying, you know, it kind of plateaued Drew, but the way that they broke them up, that makes Drew look good too because he had balls enough to go claim more Braun.
Yeah, the plateau was only during that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
run.
saying. And they did a good job of getting out of it by, you know, having Drew look strong against Braun because it's not going to hurt Braun, and it makes Drew look like, you know, he's like, if he'll go against Braun, he'll take anybody.
I think, and like I said, with Roman gone, it is going to open up a lot of different opportunities that they probably didn't plan on. I mean, Roman was for the not foreseeable. I mean, he was going to be the face of the company. He was going to hold that title for a while. I mean, he was probably going to beat Brock's he was immediately going to probably beat Brock's record of 400 days. He's probably going to immediately beat that. So now that he's gone, I'm actually excited about seeing possibly Drew get that big push, knowing that Vince was always high on him, that Triple H was always high on him. And the fact that he's gotten better from his time in the Indies and NXT,
And the way Angle put him over on Raw a week and a half ago.
Mecca like a high, Mecca hiney ho.
Just fine.
It takes me a minute to download things, okay?
that literally just hit my 3-year-old
So
brain. Like,
now we've got a break and everything. I mean, that to me is the biggest reason I want to watch Survivor Series now that everything played out the way it happened, was just to see where they go out of it, because clearly it's not the show that we even had last night.
I still think Brock. I don't think Brock is going to lose that title
I don't
until
either.
after UFC.
I don't think
like
so
I said,
either.
having him walk into that octagon with that belt around his shoulder and being announced as the WWE Universal Champion.
Exactly.
That's
so that's why
gold.
that's why I just want to see where they go with it, and it's all the more reason that you should come out to the party with us this Sunday. You'll be there to watch it with us, see our thoughts on
I'll
it.
be there in spirit.
See that? See how I did that? Mikey, I've already ran my gums enough about it. You can give them the info one more time if you want.
All right, so the party that we're doing for Survivor Series, November 18th, doors open at 5 p.m. Thomas McGee's downtown Detroit, Eastern Market area, if you want to get specific about it. Like I said, doors open at 5. If you're there before 7 o'clock and you fill out a pro wrestling scorecard, if you have the highest score on that scorecard, you will win a huge giveaway prize, which so far includes 3 T-shirts, random sizes. I think there's a double XL and XL and a medium. Right now, there is a collector's edition box set of Randy the Macho Man Savage, glasses, T-shirt inside of there as well. We're doing a bunch more other stuff, autographs and things to come with that one huge giveaway. So you definitely want to be there before Survivor Series starts, but you also have to be there when Survivor Series is done when we call the prize, because if you're not there, you can't win the prize. But the real thing that we're doing, the major thing that we're doing, is this is the Thursday before Thanksgiving. The Sunday before Thanksgiving, which is obviously the Thursday. We are raffling off 4 turkeys. 4. That means 4 people can win a turkey to help feed their family. Every dollar made from this raffle will go to a local Metro Detroit food bank. And when I say every dollar raised, I mean every dollar. We're not taking money out of this pot to, repay us for buying these turkeys. No. These turkeys are being purchased, and it's directly going to the money involved in this. So that will then, all the money will be donated directly to a local food bank. Every dollar. We're not taking anything from this. So
Are the turkeys organic? Are they farm raised?
Probably. We'll let you know when we buy
Do they
them.
have the stupid little timer in
I'm
their
not going to
chest?
buy mine. I'm not going to buy mine. Until
I hope they
Sunday.
have the timer in the chest. How else would you know it's done?
No. By the time those things pop up, your turkey's overcooked.
Yeah, he's right. He's
Well,
right. Those things look like George Hamilton by the time the thing pops up.
Well, he's
You got
the
turkeys
colonel.
like Nino Brown, huh, baby?
So all the money will go directly to a food bank. We'll take photos and everything with the food bank. We'll probably decide that food bank, and we'll announce it tomorrow night on the Breaking Down the Ring podcast. So, yeah, come out to Thomas McGee's. Doors open at 5. If you get there before 7 and fill out that scorecard, you win a grand prize. The raffle will be going the entire night, though. It's not just early. So even if you can't make it there and you want to donate to this, come on through. Anytime you come in, you can donate, and we're picking the winners for that after Survivor Series as well.
So that covers Sunday, but on Saturday, Knockouts and 3 Counts will be live from BCWA, Wyandotte, Michigan, the Copeland Center. It's Tag You're It Part 2. We've got the second round of their tag tournament. And also, we have Allison Kay, fresh off of her appearance on the WWE Mae Young Classic, will be there and wrestling, which is pretty cool considering BCWA are the ones that trained Allison Kay. So for her to come back here is pretty cool. It'll be Saturday at 6 o'clock at the Copeland Center in Wyandotte. We'll be there live. Hopefully, we're going to be getting an interview with Allison Kay that we'll bring to you at a later point. But if you need something to do Saturday night, which most of us do, come out, see some wrestling, see somebody get their ass kicked. Orlando Christopher from Breaking Down the Ring and ended up landing on a kid last time.
He'll be there this time.
Hell yeah. And he had a great match the last time. So who knows? I don't think he can pull out the diving headbutt in the building we're going to be in, but who knows what he's going
Coast
to
to
pull out of
coast
his bag.
headbutt. The
Yeah,
originator.
That shit was dope. If you haven't looked at it, go look up his Facebook and check that out. So come through on Saturday, have a good time, enjoy that stuff. And speaking of being at wrestling shows, what we're going to end the show with tonight is we have an interview that Devin and I did with Congo Kong, who's a past guest of the show, BCW champion. He's been one of the top guys in Impact for a while. And with him, we have his manager and one of his good friends, Jimmy Jacobs, who was also known as Chris Schofield. He was one of the head writers for WWE. He did the Festival of Friendship, among other things, and had a hell of a run in Ring of Honor as Jimmy Jacobs and is still wrestling all over the indies now. So we got that interview about a month ago at the BCW show. So you guys are definitely in for a treat. Like we said, come out to BCWA on Saturday. Enjoy a great show. Sunday, come kick it with us. Donate to a good cause. Win yourself a turkey. Have a good time. Anybody else got anything before I stop flapping my gums?
Are you wrapping the show now and just letting the interview play, or are you going to come back and say goodbye at the end of the interview?
I figure we'll just wrap it up right now.
Then you should mention the sponsor again.
I was going to do that after everybody said their closing shit, Randy.
My shit's always closed.
Either of you two got anything else for everybody?
Listen to my other podcast, DCTV Multiverse Podcast, on everyonewhocares.com and everywhere you find your podcast.
Mikey?
I'm cool.
Check out Breaking Down the Ring tomorrow night.
No, honestly, if you're checking out Breaking Down the Ring tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we are having the entire Pro Wrestling Scorecard crew on our show with us. What we're doing for our Survivor Series and War Games scorecards is a Survivor Series style, person versus person. Whoever has the most wins and points, they
I
are
invited?
the winner. I mean, you're going to be at the Survivor Series event, so,
I'm not working.
well,
Sucks.
sucks.
You beat me to it.
Maybe you should get a better life and not have to work Sunday nights.
Stop it, Robert De Niro face.
With the Bill Cosby voice.
Stop it.
Oh, how many women did you just rape in that impression?
Fuck is going on?
The thoughts and concerns of Mikey from Breaking Down the Ring, no, sign the Podcast Detroit Network or Knockouts and 3 Counts.
That's why we have our disclaimer. Mainly for Smitty.
Tony might have contributed to ours, but hell, we cuss enough.
Tony
In this.
Thunder Rule.
I mean,
Shout out to Tony.
hey, it is what it is. I quit. I quit, and before I die from not breathing because of that shit, make sure if you guys need to buy a car, we'd want to thank our great sponsors at Southfield Quality Cars. If you go in there, use the reference code 19309, you'll get $500 off your purchase.
Shout out to Ray.
Yeah, shout out to him. And this show's off the fucking rails. If you need a car, go check them out. And
Fuck your couch.
I didn't get to say that, but yeah, enjoy our interview. Peace.
Microphones are off.
Violence.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck Trump.
Are you going to stay on video? Do you want me to kill the video?
Just kill the video. Because they're not going to hear the interview. Are they?
They can. But
Oh shit! If they can, then do it.
you going to stay on the camera? Or are you playing a video without video?
No, don't do that. Never mind. Don't do that.
Just put the